Welcome back to the channel. It's G from PrintZebra. For those of you who don't know, this is part 2 of a video playlist on how to make rhinestone designs. And in part 1, I took out the background and showed you guys how to take out the background of this picture. And I wanted you to export it as a PNG. Once you export it or save it to your computer as a PNG, it's time to open up Silhouette Studio. Now we got Silhouette Studio open, and this is what you want to do. You want to open up the page setup panel. This is what I like to do. As you see, my machine is a Cameo Plus. A Silhouette Cameo Plus came out when the Cameo 4 came out. A little after it came out, they came out with the Cameo Plus. It's a 15-inch model, and your actual cut-in size is around 14.7 and a half, 14.75, but I keep it around 14.5. So you get a bigger cutting area using this machine. And it comes with a 15 by 15 mat, but you could use a 12 by 24. You could use 12 by 12. In this case, we're going to use a 12 by 12. So with rhinestone designs, I don't make them that big, because when you make them big and you use the actual rhinestones, it makes the shirt or design a little heavy. But when you're doing a jacket or something like that, you can't really tell. You can make the design a little bigger. So let's get into it. Let's open up the file that we saved as a PNG, or export it as a PNG. Okay, now I just want to tell you right quick, the reason why I left this like this is to make this as simple as possible. I want to show you guys what to do, not really so much as how to fix a certain design. So I just want to show you how to convert your designs, because I'm sure everyone is going to be using different designs. It wasn't important for me to show you about the little details in the crown. I thought that that would, complicate the video a little bit. So let's go ahead and click on this. Make sure you got your cursor selected first of all. Then you click on your design. You could resize this design. We need to. It's bigger than the actual media size, the paper size, the cutting size. So this red line is your cutting line. It's the cutting border. So anything outside of the red line, the machine won't cut it. Okay, so you definitely need to resize this. But you want to resize this, but we don't want to like resize it, like push this up and make it short like this or anything. We want to keep it the same size that it was. So right now we're going to click undo to put that back the way it was when it originally came here. So what you want to do when you resize it is come over here to the top. Can you see it? Click the lock button, the lock aspect ratio. This way it'll make sure that the design keeps the same aspect ratio when you resize it. Okay, so now you could change the size by actually typing in the exact size that you want. Now, since the aspect ratio is locked, when you change this size, this will automatically change to the right size. So when you change the width or the height, it will automatically adjust to keep the same ratio, so you won't warp out the design. I like to do this when I resize my designs, because once you get your design the size and shape that you like it, you don't want to be having it changed or too tall or too wide. Okay, so now let's fix this immediately. So we're gonna make sure that this width, because that's the problem, the height fits in here, we make sure the width fits in here. So we resize the design to about, I say 11. All right, now there's two ways you could center this. You could just move this over here, or you could come over here to align and center it to page, or you could just put it here. Now sometimes when you open up a design in Silhouette, it's all the way down there. It's really huge. You do the same process to this. That's the reason why I showed you the center page, because you hit object and then you go on the line and you hit center to page. So if it's all the way down there, it'll center to the page and you can see the design and get working a little bit faster. Okay, now that that's said, let me show you how to change this into rhinestones. You guys are gonna need Silhouette Studio Designer Edition or higher. I have Silhouette Studio Business Edition. To complete this, they give you a couple more extra features. Once you purchase it, you don't have to repurchase it again. Okay, with that being said, it's well worth the investment to me, and I'm pretty sure if you've gotten this far in the video, it should be worth it to you too. Okay, so now what you want to do is, since you have your design selected and you got your page size and everything corrected, you want to change this design into rhinestones. Right now, what you need to do is go to the rhinestone panel. This is the rhinestone panel button. You can click on open the rhinestone panel, or if you want to, you could go up here to panels and just hit rhinestones. What this does is it opens the rhinestone panel. This says rhinestone effect. Now this rhinestone effect right here will turn everything into circles, and that is the idea of what you want. If you click on this, this will turn the rhinestones to make them look like actual rhinestones. With that being said, if you click on advanced rhinestones, it will be more graphic intense on your computer. So what I mean by that is it might slow your computer up, and it may be hard to move the design or do things that you want to do when you get into this design, because there's so many more things that you have to do, and it'll be hundreds of circles, thousands of circles. Let me correct that. It'll be thousands of circles, and that'll convert into thousands of rhinestones. Okay, so this right here is the rhinestone effects, right? So when you hit any of these, this will apply rhinestones to your design, right? So these are the sizes of the rhinestones. The most common size used is probably the 10SS, but I've used 20SS before too, right? And right here, if you want a size that's not here as a preset, these are preset sizes, all you have to do is move this right here or dial it in right here. Type it in what size you actually want, or just drag this slider. Same thing with the spacing. This is the space the rhinestones, and with that being said, I'm going to click it so you can see what I'm talking about from here on out. So now this right here is none. If you don't want no rhinestones, then leave it just like that. You click that, right? And if you do want just the edges, like the outline of it, then you click this edge, right? And this is linear fill. Linear fill is when it fills the whole design up. It'll fill all of this up. So radial fill is something like the same, but it'll do it in a circular type of pattern, and that's better with round objects, I found out. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. So none is on none now. We click edge, and this is what happens. Now that's the edges, right? So if you wanted to fill it all up with rhinestones, you would go hit linear fill. The whole design is rhinestoned out. Now with rhinestones, you could change the color. Okay, so now I just hit radial fill, right? That's the circular one, and you see what this does. So that's not bad, that's cool. This is not perfect. This is not perfect, and this is not perfect. Not the way that I would like it anyway. So what you want to do to fix this is you're going to click on release rhinestones. What that does when you click on release rhinestones, now it takes a while for that to do it because it's a lot of rhinestones. It shows you how many rhinestone count you have right here. You need 2009 rhinestones to do this design. Just to let you guys get an idea, every time you change the design, every time you change the size here, it will tell you how many rhinestones in that size you're gonna need. And if you adjust it the way I told you, if you just say for instance you get some 12 SS, that's not here, and you put size 12, right? And right here it will say other, and it'll tell you how many rhinestones you need to do the design. That's what is perfect, because you know how much to buy, which I will leave a link in the description to all of that stuff. Anyway, so now that you release the rhinestones, what this does is it allows you to, let's click off of the whole design, because see, the whole design is still selected even though all of these little rhinestones are separate. So we click off the design, right? And now we click on the particular rhinestone that we want to move, get rid of, or just change. We could change it to different colors. I'll show y'all that soon. But look, if you wanted to move this, you would just grab it, and with the grid snap on, it could snap in the position the way you want it. So what you want to do is make sure that you design it the way that you want it. So right here now, what's going on is that I want to make this, I got an idea in my head of how I want to make this and put like another rhinestone over here. So what I'm going to do is bring this right here a little closer, and this right here a little closer. But I need another rhinestone. So where do you get it from? Then you would duplicate it, right? So I would come up here, click on that, right? And then right click since it's selected. So you hit duplicate. As you see, instantly one appeared right there. So what you want to do, you could keep on doing that if you wanted to. If you wanted to, you could select a group of rhinestones and duplicate them all. So I want this here. This is like kind of what I had in mind. You see that? And I'm going to do that on all of these. Okay, so now that I got my crown the way that I want it, right, I'm able to go ahead to the next step. The next thing we have to do is get our materials ready so we can send this to the cutter.